Well, hey everybody, this is Devin with Homeschool House Calls. Excuse my craziness. We have been dealing with we changed internet companies and it's not working so well. So I'm going to reboot this boot camp and we're going to talk a little bit. I've done many boot camps and you can get ones that will probably be better organized in my YouTube channel if you dig a little bit, but I wanted to kind of break it down a little bit and maybe just talk a little bit from the heart. So today, let's talk a little bit about why. Why do we choose to homeschool? What kind of things do we need to think about while we're making that decision? A lot of times when you start that decision, you're a little bit frightened and nervous because it's new. But we don't have to be afraid of doing new things. Look at that crazy hair. Y'all, I'm so crazy some mornings. Some days are just wild. You don't have to be afraid of something just because it's new, because that's all it is. Remember when you had that baby, you were a little bit nervous over bringing it home from that first time you gave birth was kind of scary. When you bring them home from the hospital, it was exciting and scary. But did it stay that way? Not usually. It's like maybe every new phase is probably scary, but you don't have to stay there. You know, I am your resource person with a crazy hair. Um, I'm your resource girl. I love resources. We've homeschooled. I guess maybe I need to introduce myself. I forget that sometimes people don't know me. I don't really meet strangers too easily. I talk to walls now, so I kind of forget that maybe you don't know me. I have homeschooled 20 years this year. My oldest is 22. Yes, I decided to homeschool when he was 2. We were just going to do um, we're just going to do preschool. I had just graduated from university and I had a 2 year old and a basically brand new. When I graduated, I was like 6 weeks from giving birth. So I was just going to homeschool for preschool because daycare was so expensive. Um, I, I, some of my classes were in women's studies. My degree is in sociology, so I'm very much a sociologist, and wanted to. I'd done research on daycares and how much they cost and what they. I was going to go into debt paying for daycare, so I decided to homeschool, and that rest was history. So I want to reassure you that basically the desire to homeschool is enough of a reason. You don't have to have anything elaborate like my kid is bullied or my kid is failing at school. It doesn't have to be a band-aid. Sometimes homeschooling can be a needed, I'm not saying band-aid in a bad way, a needed band-aid to protect your child while you're going through a situation, you're trying to figure it out. But other times, just the fact that you want to homeschool is big enough reason. You don't need any other reason. Whatever reason brought you here is a good enough reason to homeschool. You don't have to have any big shebang reason. Just the fact that you want to is enough. And if you have a situation going on, your child is falling behind and you don't know what to do, or they're being bullied, or there are mental health issues or physical issues, those are good enough reasons too. You can go into this deciding to homeschool for now on, or you can go into homeschooling just thinking, well, maybe for a little while. That is a big enough reason. When I started, I was only going to homeschool for preschool, and then I was going to put them in school and I was going to go to work. But by the time kindergarten rolled around, I was hooked. I loved seeing his little eyes light up when I taught him something new, and the rest was history. And homeschooling can change. It doesn't always look the same. What you do when your kids are little may not be what you do when they're in high school. It's okay to change things up. So you have the right to homeschool. If you're in the United States, it is legally your right. No one, you don't really have to ask permission. You just have to follow the rules of your state. So last week when I started this, in fact, when I set up the lineup, I will probably put last week's under this one. This will be the first one. We're kind of rebooting. We had massive internet issues at my house, and I'm like, apologize. It's not really what I like to do. But I want to reassure you that no matter how you found this channel, you have the right to homeschool. In the United States, you have the legal right to homeschool. Some other countries, you may have to look at your laws a little bit deeper. If you're looking for laws to find out, I usually send people to Homeschool Legal Defense. I'm not a lawyer, don't want to be a lawyer, never planned ever at any point in time. Although with homeschool law, I do have a pretty good handle, and that's just because I've had 20 years. When you have had 20 years homeschooling, you'll kind of know your way around it too, unless they change things. That happens. So this is your start of your boot camp. Rewatch the first one that will turn into number 2. I'm glad you're here. I'm for you. I believe in you. I think you're fabulous no matter what you decide to do. I'm your resource girl. Comment below what you want to know. What is your homeschool question? I love questions. No question is ever a bad question. I love them because that means you're thinking, you're learning. And somebody posted this in one of my groups today. You're naturally already a homeschooler. You realize that when you bring that baby home, you're already a homeschooler. You help them learn to sit up, to walk, to feed themselves, to toilet train. If you can do toilet training, you can teach anything. Whew, that like to kill me. You are naturally a homeschooler. We are made to teach our children. We just lose our confidence. And I'm here to help you get your confidence back. We will see you soon. Next up, we will talk about laws. I will talk a little bit about where I live. I have always had people wanting to ask Alabama specific questions, but anything I teach you can be applied anywhere else. So looking forward to seeing you soon. We're going to have a great time. Bye, guys.